In this series I'm teaching you how storing targets let you precision snipe for 3 seconds to destroy 3 targets. I'll show you how to send a target to your ally with only 2 buttons, and how your wingman can slew to your target with only 2 buttons. That's 4 buttons each, and maybe 5 seconds to get your whole Ka-50 werewolf pack scoping the same targets. I'll show you what gets preloaded from the mission editor, and how to get most out of your map system. And I'll show you how the Black Shark can be an information hub like few other airframes, and how you can guide that A10 above onto target with accurate bearings. Earlier episodes explain the core features, drawbacks, and my recommendations on when to use them. Later episodes progressively detail them and tie them together, so you got a tool shelf from the quick and dirty to the accurate methods. This primarily focuses on the PRTZ daylink panel, the Abras moving map working off GPS, and the PVI-800 panel for the initial navigation unit. These 3 systems are not fully linked up, but only interact in specific ways. The Abras never affects the PVI-800. The PVI-800 can only send and show target points on the Abras when you select them. The daylink panel store and select daylink targets on the Abras, and can send daylink targets and target points from the PVI-800 to your other wingman on your daylink, assuming your radio is set up on the right frequency, etc. First up are target points in the PVI-800. Usually the PVI-800 should be in operational mode, which allows route mode to track you to the waypoints, airfields, and target points you've selected. It also allows target points to slew the Shkval automatically, and for you to send them via daylink to your wingmen. In flight there are 3 ways to capture target points. To change and capture new points, you need to go into input mode. Press nav TGT for target points. Now it will show how many target points have been stored currently. Since you can assign specific target point numbers, you can skip numbers. So this doesn't mean that's the last number that you've saved, just how many have been stored. Blank means nothing has been stored, while 0 means the full 10 have been stored. From here, if you press a number, it'll bring up that target point. If the display is blank, then you'll be capturing a new target point. If it shows coordinates, then you'll be writing over those coordinates. For now, with all 3 methods, just ensure the PVI-800 is in input mode, and you've got nav TGT lit, but not yet chosen a target point number. After you've captured coordinates, using one of the methods I'll discuss just now, you can press enter to accept and store it. Pressing clear or an airfield or waypoint button cancels the operation. To capture targets manually using the numeric keypad, in input mode with nav TGT lit, choose a target point number. Then when it's waiting for coordinates, start latitude by pressing plus or 0 for the northern hemisphere, or minus, i.e. 1, for southern hemisphere. Then the first 5 digits, i.e. degrees, minutes, and tenths of a minute. Round any further digits. Then press plus if it's east, or minus if it's west, followed by the 6 digits of longitude, i.e. degrees, minutes, tenths of a minute, again rounding. Currently all DCS maps are on northeast, so you'll always use the 0 key before capturing the latitude and 0 again before capturing the longitude. By default, the Abras uses degrees, minutes, seconds. So on the Abras you can go to Setup, Menu, Options, Units, and change the first 2 options, so your Abras shows coordinates which can be captured directly onto your PVI-800. The flyover method creates a target point to your present location. While you may not want to fly over a threat to create a target point, maybe you want to leave breadcrumbs you can follow for a safe ingress or escape route. Set the fixed taking method to over. With nav TGT lit up in input mode, press a number on the target point you wish to capture or overwrite, and now press Uncaging Shkval to capture your Black Shark's current coordinates on the PVI-800 screen. If you're happy with it, press enter. Then switch the PVI-800 back to operational mode if you want to use it, or stay in input mode if you want to capture more target points. With this flyover input, once you've selected a target point to capture, note your Shkval will not respond in the normal way while it's waiting for coordinates. Pressing Uncage will only update your current coordinates onto the expecting target point. To capture a target point where the Shkval is aiming, set the fixed taking method to I251V instead of flyover. Do not press the target point number yet, but instead lock up the target as you normally would with a Shkval. Make sure that you have a laser ranging. You don't need a lock, but you do need an accurate laser ranging. Once you're happy, now push the target point number you wish to create to overwrite, then tap Uncaging Shkval, which should now show the coordinates on the PVI-800. Press enter confirm or otherwise press clear. Now you can lock up your target after selecting both the nav target and the target point number, but I strongly recommend you don't do this. Pause if you want to know the complications it brings, which can leave your Shkval stuck in operational mode. Now I'm going to move on to how to use the target points. To select the target point, you must be in operational mode. Simply press nav TGT, and once that's lit, pressing the number of a target point that has been stored will select it. Now you can just tap numbers to change target points. Your HUD now changes to show the estimated range to that target point, which may differ from whatever laser range your Shkval has on that same target or some other location. The heading icon will also show the heading to the target point instead of the Shkval or trim direction. The letters OT may appear on the left to say it's processing the target point. A box with the target point number will appear and flash on your Abris. While it's selected, the link panel can't select stored targets. Also, route mode will head towards your target point. If you press the bearing range target point button, it will show the heading and distance to the current target point. If you select a target point like this, the next press of Uncaged Shkval will jump your Shkval over to the target. This overrides anything else and works whether you were locked onto something or the Shkval was reset. Further presses of Uncaged Shkval behave like it normally does. If you were to reset the Shkval, the first time you uncage, it will hop to the target point again. So once you're done with this mode, disengage any target point you have by simply pressing nav TGT to switch off the target points. It's most accurate if you have exactly the same angle onto the target as when you stored it. So if you store target points from perfect harbor and then recall them, the odds are it'll be exactly on target. If you relocate or send to wingmen elsewhere, they might need to refine the Shkval to get it on target after uncaging. Remember to switch the target point off when you're done with it. To share a target point with other Shark on your daylink, select the target point in operational mode, then press DL to all to send it to all black Sharks on your active daylink, then send mem, which turns off the buttons and sends it to the all ID numbers in your formation. Alternately, select the target point, but instead of DL to all, select the daylink ID of the Shark you wish to send it to, which lights up their icon on the Abris, and then press send mem. If that Shark's daylink didn't receive the message, likely because their daylink's off or they're out of line of sight or it's damaged, then the send mem light will flash to indicate this, and the icon will keep flashing. Press send mem to stop the flashing warning, then try to send the message again once you believe the link is restored. It does not keep trying to send the message while it's flashing. It only tries to send the message when you press send mem the first time. DL to all won't give you a warning as some of the Sharks may not have received the message. The wingman sent to will have the PRTZ daylink panel light up with the type of target you sent, in this case always the other type, a square, in addition to the ID of the black Shark that sent the message. Usually they'll also get an Elmar's message top left saying watch your cron, and their cron itself might say receive DL target. From there the wingman just has to press send mem to store it as a daylink target, or clear to ignore and delete it. Target points take slightly longer than daylink targets to capture, but they are very quick to recall and very quick to get information about its distance as well as its bearing and its coordinates. It's a decent way to capture coordinates quickly relayed over the radio as someone's busy reading it, and also the only real way to capture targets when you're not in line of sight. Though anything not captured by you at your present location will not have perfect accuracy. Target points you create won't show on your Abris unless you select them, which could be a plus if things are getting cluttered, but otherwise it leaves you with less information. Unless you're really fond of flying over target points, I recommend you switching the fixed taking method to I251V at startup when you're turning on the daylink, enabling you to take target points from the Shkval. Of course, if your Shark comes preloaded with target points from the mission editor, you spawn them already loaded, then there are no drawbacks really, and they're really useful, as long as you know what they're meant to represent and what to look for near them. I would definitely recommend the mission editor preloading of target points for night missions, where there isn't a full moon. You have to take the night vision goggles, as this radically cuts down on your slewing time and gives you distance information before you have to laze. This is Volk. Next video in the series will be on daylink targets and the quickest way to share information with your wingmen. Merry Vickering.